Man opens airplane visor to see the view from outside. Instead, he sees the shadow of a woman. The man thought his eyes were blurry. He looks around at the people around him to see nothing unusual about the others. The man chose to look through the window. The woman came right up to the man. The man was so frightened that he collapsed to the ground. The other passengers were also frightened by this. The flight attendant rushed to calm the man. To avoid embarrassing himself, the man ran into the bathroom. He wanted to be alone to calm down. He tried to calm himself down by fanning himself, but the next moment the woman appeared again. This time the man is stunned. He crawls and rolls out of the bathroom. He told the stewardess he had to get off the plane now, or he would jump off the plane. Kung, who is a police officer, held the man down. He took out the sedative he had with him. He gave it to the man before he calmed down. In order not to disturb the other passengers, Kung asked the first-class passengers. All of them were transferred to economy class. He stayed behind to keep an eye on the man. After 5 minutes, the plane was calm again. The old lady asked the flight attendant for a salad. After taking a bite, she felt something wrong. She threw up all her morning breakfast. There were dozens of worms in the vomit. The stewardess immediately came and cleaned up the vomit. She asked her colleague to check the other lunchboxes, but found that the lunchboxes were rotten. It was crawling with worms. He rushed to contact the captain and told him about the incident. At that moment, the plane suddenly lost power. There was a sudden downpour of rain and lightning. The captain immediately checked the plane. He found that both engines had failed due to pressure problems. The situation was very critical. Luckily, the captain was very experienced. He first controlled the nose of the aircraft. He kept the aircraft on a level flight. With the efforts of the crew, he managed to get out of the plane's crisis. Suddenly the captain saw in front of him. There was a large unidentified flying object in front of him. He asked the co-pilot if he had seen anything, but the co-pilot saw nothing. The captain thought he had been overworked, but he didn't know that danger was just around the corner. Female passenger trying to get her computer. Suddenly a female ghost appeared. The passenger was so frightened that she fell to the ground, but appeared in another dimension. At this time the female ghost was holding her child, and said that there was a killer on the plane. She reaches out and tries to touch the woman. The next moment the female passenger is back in the cabin. The husband immediately goes to comfort his wife. Another female passenger here suddenly has a nosebleed. She runs into the bathroom to clean it up. Suddenly he hears the sound of a baby crying. Before the woman could react, a hand yanked the woman over. It was the same female ghost. The passenger was so frightened that she screamed. He didn't listen to what the ghost was saying. Luckily, Kung broke into the door. He rescued the woman. The woman told him what had just happened. Kung knew it wasn't that simple, because 3 people had already met the ghost. Here the woman was listening to a song. A baby's voice suddenly came out of her headphones. She took off her headphones. She found that there was blood on them. She immediately went into the bathroom. She sees herself in the mirror. She made a funny face. The stewardess asked the woman carefully what she had seen, but the passengers around her thought they were making a fuss. There was no need to make such a fuss. At once a group of people on the plane argued. Kung tried hard to muffle the noise. Only then did the noise calm down. At that moment the female ghost came out from the back. He was wearing a red dress, and half of his face was ruined. He slowly walked towards the crowd and pointed his finger at the cockpit. Kung immediately raised his weapon and prepared to shoot, but the ghost suddenly disappeared. Everyone was convinced there was a ghost on the plane, and the word revenge was written on the glass. A female ghost suddenly appears on a plane. The flight attendant immediately told the captain, but the captain didn't believe her. He even told the stewardess to leave the cockpit. The co-pilot next to her. Suddenly there was a change. Her eyes were covered with black silk. He lunged at the captain. He was about to lose control of the plane. Luckily, Kung was able to pull the co-pilot away in time. He was able to solve the problem. The 3 people who had seen the ghost came forward. They all said that the ghost was out for revenge, and that there was a murderer on the plane. They all speculated on where the ghost had been killed. The men speculated that it might be in the luggage compartment. Kung took the group to check it out. Inside, they found a black bag. They opened it and found a photo of the ghost's past life. The black bag belonged to the captain of the plane. Kung took the photo and went to question the captain. The captain denied it at first. He told them to get out of the cockpit. One by one, the passengers outside were also possessed by the ghost. The word revenge was repeated. The captain broke away from Kung and ran to the first-class cabin, only to be surrounded by female ghosts. They forced him to confess his crime. Kung tried to grab the captain, but the captain was pinned to his seat. He was pinned to his seat and robbed of his weapon. The crowd immediately panicked. The female ghost grabbed the captain's hand. She raised her gun and pointed it at his head. With a gunshot the captain killed himself. Even the ghost was pulled away by the female ghost. The ghost disappeared along with her. The plane was about to land. Luckily, the co-pilot had a lot of experience. The plane landed safely. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. As for the captain's murder case, we had to leave it to Kung to find out the truth, to clear the name of the victim. And that's the end of the film. The film Flight 666 is a small-budget horror film. Overall it's worth a drama to stay up late to catch. If you like it, check out the original film.